Globalization and economic development has resulted in a surge in the number of disputes arising between parties, leading to an increase in the need for judicial intervention. This increase has strained judicial resources around the world, prompting the need for an evolution in the way disputes are perceived and resolved. This perfectly coincides with the rise of ADR. Long drawn-out courtroom battles make parties deem litigation as a cumbersome process and an inefficient justice redressal mechanism. ADR mechanisms focus on bringing autonomy to the parties by considering the rational and emotional aspects of conflict and negotiation, instilling a sense of belongingness. Unlike in litigation, where lawyers argue the case in courts, in different modes of ADR, parties are encouraged to present their submissions, thereby instilling inter-party confidence. Alternative dispute resolution is a shift from ethics of justice to ethics of care, which encourages individual participation to arrive at an optimal choice.
The word resolution brings a very positive effect when one hears it. On the other hand, when one hears the word conflict, there is a negative connotation and something which is harsh. So people tend to react to it. So what we are seeing now in ADR is a process that addresses the values, the angst and the concerns of the parties and enables them to find a solution. But this is because as soon as one hears the word, what happens is there are frames in the mind and we automatically react to those frames. So as opposed to decision making, what problem solving does is that it helps to restructure the frames, because the frames that come automatically to the mind result in the actions that follow. So restructuring of the frames, enabling parties to understand the potentiality in the situation, being objective, leads to creativity, critical thinking and collaboration. While ADR is popularly recognized as a suitable system for resolving disputes today and is known as the alternative dispute resolution, it is also considered as the appropriate dispute resolution system because it is more aligned with the justice dispensation system today.
If I can pitch ADR against court systems, I will look to clear advantages which ADRs provide to us. It enables parties to adapt any flexible approach, such as the place where it is to be done, the process that is likely to be adopted, the person who has to do. Everything is possible for parties to decide. They have a complete autonomy to get things done the way they want. It is just not possible in a court system. You don't have a choice over a judge. You don't have a choice over a place. You don't again have any choice about the way it is going to be done. These are all laid out through procedural laws which are there already, and there are surely inflexible approaches that the courts adopt in such cases.
When the parties are in conflict, they somehow feel that things are getting off their hand and they feel helpless, and then they become defensive. This is what happens in the regular process of conflict resolution. But the alternative dispute mechanisms, more specifically mediation, puts them in charge. When they are put in charge of their own problem, they feel empowered. When they feel empowered, they come up with their solutions. After all, they know better what they want, and therefore they come up with appropriate solutions. When appropriate solutions are made, conflicts are resolved in a most appropriate manner.
For a party to make an effective choice of a dispute resolution process and to take decisions within this dispute resolution process is dependent on how effective the courts are. A person should not, I think, enter into a settlement because the dispute is going to take years to be decided in court. that would be a shame. I say this from the point of view of courts being an alternative to the alternative dispute resolution processes. So, for effective choices to be made in mediation or in other dispute resolution processes, we must know that there are the courts standing behind. And if we were not to make a settlement in the mediation, we can go back to courts who will help us effectively resolve the dispute.
ADR has helped us perceive dissonance as an opportunity for resolving conflict. It comes across as an effective dispute resolution mechanism, even against complex disputes. The flexibility and autonomy it brings allows it to not only be effective for conventional disputes, but also for those in more nuanced legal avenues.
In every large and complex dispute, whether commercial or investment arbitration, at the outset, an effort must always be made to introduce an element of mediation, not just as a prior step before delving into the dispute, but also having some sort of a standing mediation procedure, maybe even identifying institutions or individuals who are free from conflict.
ADR mechanisms offer a wide range of benefits in niche areas that litigation cannot provide. In intellectual property rights related disputes, ADR is a developing phenomenon that promises to save money and time while preserving confidentiality in one package. In fields like construction contracts, ADR mechanisms help ensure that party relationships are preserved and effective solutions are attained, as disputes in these fields can affect long-term business relationships and often involve huge amounts of money. Another key area that ADR can revolutionize is taxation. With the government becoming the largest litigant in many jurisdictions because of tax disputes, companies are more focused on resolving the disputes and getting clarity on their tax burden. ADR mechanisms help in the government and taxpayers enter into more effective compromises, as evident from the success of ADR-influenced programs in the US, Canada, and Netherlands. In furtherance of their commitment towards ADR, ADBI and the Tata Palkiwala Chair at Sastra University co-hosted a 2-day virtual training workshop on conflict engagement and resolution on August 5th and August 9th, 2022, which focused on strategies for resolving stakeholder disputes and advancing development project implementation in Asia and Pacific.
Good afternoon from Tokyo. Warm welcome to the virtual training workshop on conflict engagement and resolution. In the workshop, participants will learn to see conflict as an opportunity for clarity and change, map the conflict, and engage stakeholders positively and constructively. Participants will also learn how decision makers can discern optimal choice and the workability of options, and how to generate options and plan implementation.
Participants from Pan-Asia had joined the training program. The profile of the participants included government officials, members of public service authorities, students of various disciplines, and individuals from corporate sector. The workshop was designed by expert coordinators of FCDR and comprised of inputs from resource persons regarding the alternative dispute resolution methods that help recognize conflict impacts in intra and interpersonal relationships and support constructive engagement among stakeholders to reach a consensus. Participants were engaged in pre-recorded sessions and role-play exercises modeled in context of real-world situations to help develop cognitive ability to discern optimal resolution options. ADBI strives towards using contemporary developments in the society to advance the cause of developing economies. ADBI's commitment towards ADR and collaboration with Sastra deemed university is a testament to this goal and is the start of a long-term initiative.